Be a quick 5-minute break, and then we'll be back at it. So the gentleman from Virginia is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to echo your comments from your introduction. What a difference several years makes. And while the censorship industrial complex is on the run, it is not gone. And to that, I just say, thank God for Donald Trump. Thank God for Elon Musk. Thank God for Doge, because we're uncovering that just where the tax dollars are going to fund the censorship industrial complex. Mr. Schellenberger, the UN finances initiatives related to misinformation management or supports government funding and third-party development of censorship tools and technologies, correct?
Yes.
And you're aware that U.S. taxpayer dollars have been used by the UN to develop and implement an AI-assisted fact-checking tool to label speech as misinformation, disinformation, and malinformation, toxic or hate speech, correct?
Yes, sir. Very disturbing.
In fact, in 2021, the U.S. gave the UN development program $190 million in taxpayer dollars. And iVerify, what they've developed, has been tested in 5 countries: Kenya, Honduras, Liberia, Sierra Leone, and Zambia. And it's intended to expand to more countries. Does that concern you?
Extremely.
The UN has also partnered with other players in the censorship industrial complex, including CrowdTangle, a Facebook meta-connected fact-checking tool. Meeden got $250,000 from the National Science Foundation for identifying and countering misinformation on closed messaging platforms. An international fact-checking network, IFCN, a grant and fellowship-making organization to help fact-checkers, solution providers, and other eligible organizations launch new and innovative fact-checking programs and initiatives. Do you see iVerify as part of a larger global trend towards centralized control over information?
Yeah, and we didn't have a chance to get to it, but USAID has been pushing digital IDs that would tie people's bank accounts to their social media profiles. I mean, it's out of Black Mirror. I mean, the idea would be that they'd be able to police and potentially debank you for something that you said online. It's extremely disturbing, and I was just kind of shaking my head because after 2 years of this, we just keep discovering more censorship initiatives hidden away in different agencies, the UN, USAID. I mean, it's madness.
It's terrifying. You agree. Programs like iVerify and iVerify, the one you just mentioned as well, could be weaponized by authoritarian governments to silence dissent. And you've seen
by our government
this as well.
Yeah.
Well, of course, by our government as well. And Ms. Subramania, you've seen this as well.
Absolutely. I've seen the weaponization of government to go after innocent people in my own country, in Canada. The truckers' protest of 2022 was a great example of that, where people who protested, they were debanked. So if you were a grandmother somewhere donating $50 to the protest, you were frozen out of the financial system. And it has a chilling effect to the point that people are now afraid of having their voices heard. They're afraid to express themselves because the consequences of expressing yourself freely in a country like Canada, a G7 country, people are afraid to speak out. And I've only seen this in authoritarian countries that I've lived in. And that is something that should concern us all. And it's happening here.
And it's up to us to lead.
Absolutely.
And do you think that the Biden-Harris administration's hostility toward free speech contributed to the increased attacks on free speech we were seeing abroad, including pressure by foreign governments against American companies to censor lawful speech?
Absolutely. I'm glad you asked that question, Representative Cline. When Elon Musk's free speech rights were being attacked, and they're still being attacked by the EU under the Digital Services Act, there was silence from the Biden administration. You know what that did? That sent a strong message to the rest of the world that the administration could not be relied on to retaliate against governments that suppress the free speech rights of Americans. That's a powerful message, and that's not good.
Absolutely. We have to continue to lead. I'm glad President Trump's leading. I'm glad Elon Musk is leading. I've got a bill in to end iVerify. It's called the End UN Censorship Act. I hope we pass it in this committee and can pass it on the floor. With that, Mr. Chairman, I yield back.
Gentleman yields back. We'll take a